What's up, guys? So it is way too early for me to be up on a Saturday, but I got out of the house about 7:30. About to head down. These guys, someone, I think Hayden with Meticulous, his YouTube channel, these guys are in a Volkswagen. So he told them about what I'm doing to this bug, and they messaged me on Instagram and like, hey, we have a bug that we'd love to sell you for, to use as the filler metal. I was like, sweet, like, what do you guys want for it? And he was like, yeah, $100. I was like, you got to be kidding, because I got quoted from a guy down south to like buy some roofs and sections out of bugs, not a whole bug, like buy and cut sections out. And he was thinking like $300-400, which is fair, like that's, I'm gonna ruin some bugs of his, so like that was a fair price. And then these guys got a hold of me. I was like, you gotta be kidding. So $100 for a bug. It has a Baja front, which I can't use, so I'm gonna take those off and give them back to him so he can sell, since it is such a good price. And then it does come with a set of Baja fenders, which I can use. And then he has 2 normal hoods that I think he wanted like 10 extra bucks for both of them or something. So I'm gonna buy both of those. The front of the bug is cut off because it's Baja, and then, or not the front, but the front's Baja, and then the rear is cut off because it's Baja. So I'll still need the that rear little section, and then the front's good because my front's cut off, and it's just the hood is going to be the tip of it. So I got to run like 30 minutes down south. We're going to put this thing in the back of a box truck, and then get back here, unload it, and we'll see if anybody can help me unload it. And then I got to think really long and hard about how I'm gonna cut this. And so I'm gonna get it here, look at it, and then I'll kind of go over with you what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm gonna head out and try not to fall asleep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here she is. So I'm gonna give this and this back to the guys so you can try and sell them, because I can't use these, and the rest of the car was such a good deal. So I'll give those back to him. These Baja fenders the front ones are cooler than the ones I have, because these don't have any cutouts for the blinkers, and they're a little bit more like aggressive and abrupt up front. So I like those. The backs are pretty rough, but I have, like I said, I have a whole nother set, so we'll just kind of pick and choose and see which is in better condition. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I haven't seen this part of my bug has been cut out for, I mean, probably close to 3 years. So it's, maybe 2 years. So it's pretty crazy to see, just to see all this again. But it's in pretty good shape. There's some rust down here in typical bug fashion, and there's some rust. There's some, ooh, you were hiding. There's some more rust. But we're not using any of that, so that's cool. What I'm kind of excited about is I think all of this metal I'm going to use to rebuild the MR2 firewall. I don't know how yet, but that's some good, I don't know, that's just some good flat metal, and it'd be cool to kind of repurpose it. So let's see. Okay, so I guess there was some sort of bolt-on roof scoop thing right there. So what we need from this is basically the center section of the roof, and right there, and right here, and this back piece right here. Okay, so this video is basically just so I can get your guys' opinions. I'm gonna walk you through what I'm thinking. The beautiful thing about having this bug not cut up yet is I can take solid measurements of what this bug is on the bottom, on the top, like all the dimensions. So when we widen this, I can brace it like accordingly. Like we can get the tops to be, you know, perfectly straight the way they were on here or wherever they are. We can get everything measured out perfectly and then put the sides together. So I'm gonna take a ton of measurements on this and really think this through, because if I screw this up, then we have to buy another bug, and I'm not gonna find another bug for $100. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through what I'm thinking, and then I want you guys to flood the comments with suggestions, opinions, new ideas, different ideas, whatever. So I'm gonna walk you through what I'm thinking, and then we'll see what happens. Cutting the center section out of here and putting it on there, I think is going to be pretty straightforward, because we have all these little curves, you know, underneath and stuff to line up, so we can get those lined up pretty perfectly. Same with right here and up front. What I am genuinely worried about is this roof metal. Man, it's amazing how solid this is when it's all one piece, because this is like a limp noodle. So my concern, I mean, you can see how thin this metal is, right? And I'm pretty confident that even if I weld really slowly, this roof is gonna be kind of wiggly all over the place. So here's what I'm thinking. This is mostly what I want your opinion on. What I'm thinking is maybe okay, so say we need, okay, so start over. What I'm thinking is cut this section out here, right? Put it on the ground, hammer it, get it flat. Use that metal, put that metal underneath the roof here, okay? And basically put the two sides together with the metal underneath. So what I'm thinking is, so we'll cut the 9-inch section out of here and reinforce that back here like we want to. And then from probably an inch or two above this, I'm thinking cut a 12-inch section out of the roof, and then very gently kind of push it in to get a little bit more of a curve. And then, so cut that 12 inches out, the entirety of the roof, and then bow it in just a little bit so it has a little more of a curve. And then do a long roof scoop. So it'll start in the front, but it's gonna be really low profile. So maybe only like an inch to an inch and a half, if that, but it'll be wide. So we're gonna be sucking in a ton of air from that, and then drill a hole about here-ish. And then we can use that either, literally it could just be airflow and help cool the engine, or we could route it to the intercooler, or it can be the turbo inlet, like who knows. But I'm pretty, and I'm not, you guys are really good about saying like I'm doubting myself too much, this, that, and the other. But I'm genuinely concerned that the roof is not gonna be perfect. I'm confident I can get this piece and the rear piece right here perfect, because we have all these lines to match up. So we can get here and probably an inch back pretty dang good. But then all this really flimsy thin metal, I think, is gonna get pretty wonky. So I'm already thinking about ways to hide it. The first idea that popped into my head is doing a roof scoop to cover it. Well, then I thought, well, you know, if we already have this metal here, it's, you know, it's gonna follow the curve of the roof. So if we just push it in, you know, just bow it just a little tiny bit so where it has just a real light profile. I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, literally like an inch maybe. So, but then it'll go from about here. So it'll be, you know, be long, but low profile. Send that all the way to the back. Put a little hole right there, or I guess right there, and then figure out where to route that later. But that's just gonna be, I'm not confident that the roof is gonna be straight, at least where we weld it. So if we do that, we'll hide our mistakes. This is gonna be, I think, pretty straightforward. Front's gonna be pretty straightforward. The hood, so luckily I got two of them. Okay, and I gotta think about this a little more. This will be down the road, but I'd love your opinions. So what I'm thinking is, instead of cutting this down the center, we'll cut it about here. Or let's see, maybe, what I'm thinking really is like cut it as far out as we can. So maybe about right there where this curve isn't as aggressive, starts to get a little more straight. So maybe right here, all the way up. Then, instead of trying to work on this really hard line, we can use metal from this hood and this hood of these. This one's jacked up, but we can use these center sections and widen this part. Instead of trying to widen this, we'll widen the hood right here, and then that'll make, you know, we won't be widening it right on that curve. We should have a little more leeway. Just, I don't know. So that's what I'm thinking. Cut something like that, and then widen from here out and there out. So the nice thing is we have a lot of metal to work with there. This is just way cool. This is such a good find. Those guys were so awesome. So I guess the Bug had been, I think it was their dad's friend that had it, and I could be wrong. It might have been their uncle, so I'm sorry. But it was in their family or family friend's car for like 40 years, I think they said. And that guy passed away, and these guys got it. And basically they didn't have anything to use it for, but they wanted to see it. It's kind of like until you're attached to a car, it sounds corny, but they wanted to like see the car like live on, you know. And I've never really understood that because I haven't had anything for that long or had family members have cars for that long or anything like that, but it does make sense to me. So they got a hold of me and they're like, hey, we'd love to see this become a part of your Bug. So sweet. So it's just got kind of a cool background story. And what I'm going to do too, I don't know, I didn't say this already. I'm going to cut this whole side off. So I'm going to hang, probably not at this shop, but my lease is coming up. So I'd like to try to get a little bit bigger shop when that time comes. So cut that whole side off and then hang that Bug on the wall because it'll be basically flat. And then the other side I'm going to give back to him. So they always have kind of part of that car that's been in their family. So kind of a cool story. I think it's super, like they're pumped with what I'm doing with it. So I think it's really cool that they are excited for me to cut their like family car in half. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's kind of, like I said, I got to do a bunch of measurements and really get everything perfect. I don't want to screw this up, so I'm going to take my time with it. So take all the measurements of what the Bug used to be and then space this Bug out exactly how far we need to based on those measurements, and then cut the exact sections out that we need. And this was an incredible find, and it really was kind of the next step. I just have a little bit left to go. I haven't touched this since the last video. I've been busy. We did the Civic stuff. So I have a little bit more. I got to finesse on that to get it to sit where I want it, and then trim a little bit more out so we can set it on top once it's all together. And then I'm going to start going to town on this. So that's it. I won't keep you guys any longer. Just wanted to show you, we got the next part of the step. And really basically the big parts that we need now are just a swap. So I should have everything I need here minus a new main hoop. I should have everything I need here to get the Bug back together and basically get it ready for the swap. So what I need and what I want from you guys is your opinions on this. You guys are really good at critiquing me nicely and telling, like, that's the beautiful part about like 99% of you guys is if I'm doing something wrong, if you don't like what I'm doing, you guys are so unbelievably kind about it. You'd be like, that's not gonna work, but you should try this, or that could work, or this could be better. So you guys are just, I really appreciate you guys. I don't think you guys actually realize what your comments mean and how much they help me out. So flood the comments, give me all your opinions on everything I just went over. Hopefully this wasn't too long and too much of me talking. I was just trying to kind of show you what I was thinking so you guys can then give me some feedback. Sorry. Okay. I think that's it. So let me know what you think, and we'll get moving. The Civic video should be up soon. Just kind of waiting on Brent to put his up. I don't want to step on their toes, so we're trying to put them up at about the same time. So for now, let me know what you think. Have a good night, have a good weekend, all that jazz, and we'll see you soon.